Remaining quiet in order to hear God speak. The God within. We all have experienced that voice in our head. We ignore that voice when it tells us something we do not want to hear or accept. Then the unthinkable happens, and deep down inside we say, I had a feeling, but then it's too late. This happens because we are told God lives everywhere but in here. Because of that, we do not trust ourselves, and that's where all the problems begin, lingers, grows, and stays. We have no idea on how to correct them, so we live and function in survival mode. How do we move out of survival mode to creation mode? Being still and quiet. Letting go of all thoughts and interpretations of those thoughts. Not over or understanding, just letting it be. Quietness gives the opportunity to hear clearly to what is being said. You are focused on the inner you. You become aware of you, your movements, your heartbeat, your breathing, and the flow of energy within and all around you. You are starting to experience creation mode. You are allowing yourself to become free of the old and moving forward towards the light. The light that promotes the mind to explore beyond the current state of thinking and beyond the current state of being, and to becoming the better version of you. Chaos, unpredictable, a state of confusion, a total lack of organization and order. This is the general definition that we use. But in scientific terms, chaos also refers to a lack of order, but within a system that nevertheless obeys particular laws and rules. As it is said, in the beginning was chaos, and God produced everything within that chaos to what exists today, which is you and I, and everything that supports the life of you and I. In our personal journey, chaos is all around us, and we are also responsible for producing some of that chaos. If we were to look at ourselves as the mathematical equations we are, and that can also be found in nature, then we can do what God has done. If we understand that God lives within us. We take the chaotic state of mind we find ourselves in, and we change the order of the laws and rules to benefit us. Wow, this is revolution, and this is where revolution begins, with self. Changing the way we think, and the way we talk, and the way we move. That's revolution. When we experience traumatic experiences, it takes away the best of who we can become. Manipulating the laws and the rules, we can now use that same experience to invoke who we know we can become. Traumatic experiences hold your soul captive, but it can also usher in a new being. Traumatic experiences create invisible walls that we think protects us, but it can also break down barriers that prevent us from becoming the better version of us. Understanding the rules and laws, we, the individual, can apply them at will and where they are needed. When we understand how powerful we really are, then we can understand how powerful our words can become. If we tell ourselves we cannot, we will not. If we tell ourselves we can, we will. If we doubt, we remain uncertain and lack confidence in everything we do. If we know, we become sure and confident in everything we do. Living in creation mode allows our experiences to enhance us, producing what cannot be foreseen, achieving what cannot be explained. Ancient African scarce wisdom, and these proverbs are also inscribed into the walls of Egypt's Luxor temple. One states, organization is impossible unless those who know the laws of harmony lay the foundation. So in my previous videos, the first chapter called Self-Acknowledgement, I explained why it is important to have acknowledgement of self to change, enhance, and empower what is needed in you. The second chapter called Taking Ownership of Self, I explain why it is important to own every action and thought that comes from you, to hold yourself accountable in order to improve yourself. The third chapter called Forgiving, I explain why it is important to forgive yourself in order to free yourself from the negative feelings following a traumatic experiences, only keeping the lesson, never to repeat the experience again. In the fourth chapter, called Improving Ourselves, I explain why it is important to become the better version of you. The fifth chapter, called You Choose, Red Pill, Blue Pill, I explain that the choice is yours. If you see no need, let it be. If you know there is a need, take the red pill. These 5 steps are critical to me in mastering the inner you. To become the better version of self, we must understand the need to become the better version of self. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another chapter to Dangerous Conversations. We talk about what most deal with in silence. I am the host, Tony Yvette, and you are welcome again. The self is not only of physical flesh and bone, but also of energy that we cannot see, fluid and liquid. The energy inside of us not only electrifies the movements of our neurons, cells, and heartbeat, it connects us to the Earth's grid and flows up into the cosmos, within and beyond our solar galaxy, intertwining with the energy of the sun and the moon, and travels far in distance to other planets, stars of the known and unknown. Liquid, which is water, makes up 60% of the human body and 71% found outside of us, from the Atlantic to the Pacific Oceans and everything in between. In nature, plants, liquid absorbs, stores, and transmit energy. Liquid can also store the energy of our words, and liquid is the #1 connection for sustaining and creating all life forms. It is said, fluids come together and the I am appears. Based on the study of the brain, the cerebral spinal fluid is also known as the medium of one's spirit. The entire nervous system, the brain, the spine, both flows in this cerebral spinal fluid that travels from the cerebrum down to the sacrum. And then it travels back up, and it repeats that cycle. This process is known as the illumination, the light, the higher mind, and the third eye. The cerebral spinal fluid is a transmitter of energy, vibration, and information. Nature was here in the beginning, and nature is the key to man's awakening. Nature holds all the mathematical formulas that produces the way our plants grow, their production of the energetic foods for life, and the herbs for our healing. When we separate from nature and from the inner self, we become lost to the laws and the rules that governs this energy. We become toxic and poisonous to ourselves and to one another. We are trapped in survival mode, which breeds disease and mental health issues. Look around. Look at the state of humanity. When we connect to nature, we can create, alter, and build the perfect foundation and harmony needed in becoming the better versions of ourselves. Let's work on breaking this cycle that we are trapped in. Let's start to learn and understand who we really are, our connection to nature, to this planet, to one another, and our connection to this vast system we call life. By remaining quiet, by remaining still, we can hear the voice of God that lives within us. We transfer out of survival mode to creation mode because we have become one with nature. Chaos is now contained in the system, where we created the laws and rules. Let's start this journey together, always remembering there is only one love, one universe, and one consciousness. See you on the other side.